Late last month, the Supreme Court made a very strong statement about non-resident Indian quotas at medical colleges. It essentially said that the whole thing was a fraud. For context, the Supreme Court was hearing an appeal by the Punjab government challenging an order by the Punjab and Haryana High Court. Let me break that down for you by explaining what exactly happened. You see, the Punjab government decided to expand the definition of NRI quota for undergraduate medical admissions. It wanted it to include relatives of non-resident Indians too. So it would mean that not only NRIs would be eligible for the quota, their cousins, nieces, nephews would all be eligible. Now, for obvious reasons, this decision was pretty controversial. Eventually, the Punjab and Haryana High Court came in and quashed the government's decision. The government then approached the Supreme Court to challenge that order, but the Supreme Court dismissed the appeal. In fact, Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud said that it was time to stop this NRI quota business. The thing is, since the Supreme Court called it out, the practice has only gotten murkier. So the Ken reporter Alifiya Khan conducted an investigation. She scoured several social networking sites, only to find countless posts promising seats in medical institutes to aspirants who scored way below the required cutoff, and even those who were hardly eligible for the NRI quota. The only requirement? Well, applicants need to be ready to cough up some big bucks. The Ken wanted to see if there was something to these claims, so Alifiya went undercover. She posed as the sibling of a Maharashtra-based MBBS aspirant with a measly NEET score of 180. She then contacted 4 education consultancies, and all of them, quite unsurprisingly, had boilerplate replies. The running thread? Regardless of your score, they would hook you up with a medical college. Alifiya compared the whole experience to a busy day of shopping at a wholesale cloth market. She found that even meritorious medical aspirants play a role in this whole racket. Agents pay them to block seats in private medical colleges up until the very last moment. Eventually, they turn down the seat and it is auctioned off at the college level to the highest bidder. R.V. Ashokan, the national president of the Indian Medical Association, the largest representative Indian organization of modern corporate medicine doctors, called it an open secret. You see, this backdoor to the coveted MBBS seats can often cost up to 5 times regular fees. In some cases, even more than that. And yet, most people high up in medical colleges don't want to let go of NRI quota. Because in many ways, it is what keeps the whole system afloat. So what's going on? Welcome to Daybreak, a business podcast from the Ken. I'm your host Rahil Philippos, and I'll be joining my colleague Stikta Sharma every day of the week to bring you one business story that is worth understanding and worth your time. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of October. To understand how this system works, Alifiya spoke to several of these agencies across the country. One admission counselor from a Rajasthan-based agency pulled out a rate card. They were offering different packages based on the applicant's NEET score. For context, this year, the minimum score for a general category student to qualify for MBBS admissions was 164. So for a score of 250 and below for a good private college, this agency was charging 1.5 crore rupees and over for a deemed university. Then another counselor in UP told Alifiya that he would be able to get her admission at a college in Maharashtra easy peasy. When she brought up that she had no blood relatives overseas, he said that wouldn't be an issue either. He could easily arrange a sponsor and pass him off as a relative. He even listed out a bunch of universities that had tie-ups with his agency that wouldn't mind filling NRI seats with his recommendations. The Ken, however, could not independently verify that claim. But we did speak to 3 medical college owners who all said they are aware of this practice but are not involved in any capacity. But agencies insist that they can hook you up. Basically, some genuine NRIs living abroad are shown as sponsors and are paid a certain amount of money for providing a letter of sponsorship. You see, this is just one of the many loopholes that are being exploited, like blocking seats. For instance, say a student gets allotted a private medical college in the first round of counseling, and then a cheaper or other desired college in the second or third round. They are allowed to cancel and switch, But the colleges don't declare these seats as cancelled until the last counselling round is over. Now, once that round ends, the admissions start taking place at the college, during which time these seats are auctioned. Basically, nothing is out of bounds, especially for people who have money to spend. Stay tuned. Earlier this year, the IMA wrote to the Ministry of Education to abolish this NRI quota system. Their argument was simple. They said the only basis for many of these admissions was money. In the process, medical education was becoming unaffordable for deserving students. A senior IMA official told Alifiya that there's a lot of politics at play here. Most medical colleges in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Punjab, and Gujarat are owned by politicians or educational societies established by politicians. So there's a lot of political lobbying around these seats because they are, after all, a major money spinner. Take the example of Bharati Vidyapeeth Deemed University Medical College and Hospital in Maharashtra's Sangli. Reportedly, the institute not only took in a candidate who scored way below the cutoff score, it also charged that student over 3 times the management quota fee of 21 lakh rupees. And that's just one example. There are several others just like it. But the thing is, this isn't a black and white issue. 3 medical college deans and founders who spoke to Alifiya defended the NRI quota. You see, NRIs, or in this case their seats, are the key players in running the economics of the medical education system. The fees per student under the government quota may be 4 to 5 lakh rupees, but the government claims it spends nearly 8 times the amount per MBBS candidate. So for a private setup, some may argue that it makes business sense to charge some students a higher fee. In effect, one way to look at it is, the NRI fees are used to subsidize education for general category students. One medical college consultant said if you take it away, medical colleges will suffer. The practice has already begun in Maharashtra, where meritorious students are being charged 40 different types of unregulated fees because NRI seats are not being filled. The Ken spoke with management representatives from 4 medical colleges across the country. They all argued that there is no way these institutes can be run without these NRI seats. One of them, who was from a Maharashtra medical college, said given the National Medical Commission's conditions, it takes between 600 to 700 crore rupees to set up a private medical college. But even with the medical institutions' desperation to hold on to the NRI quota, their own target audience, the NRIs, has started a pushback. And that's thanks to the exorbitant fees. You see, for now, given the controversy surrounding this quota, several medical colleges across the country have dropped their fees for NRI seats. They are afraid of vacancy. Others have converted the NRI quota seats to the general category. The change may have begun, but the rot lies too deep to clean all at once.
Daybreak is produced from the newsroom of the Ken, India's first subscriber-focused business news platform. What you're listening to is just a small sample of our subscriber-only offerings. A full subscription unlocks daily long-form feature stories, newsletters, and podcast extras. Head to theken.com and click on the red subscribe button on the top of the website. Today's episode was hosted by Rahil Philippos and edited by Rajiv CN.